Hello, and welcome back to our Zombie Wars series. In this episode, we are going to build the UI for the game and add coins to our player to collect. So, let's get going. Before we start making the UI, once again, we need to fix one thing from our logic. This is really common that you implement new things and it seems that everything is working, but later you notice that something isn't right. Currently, if we run our game, and let's kill these guys, you can see here that the bullets will go through the player even though it got hit. So that's something we need to fix today. And if we jump to the event sheet, and well, we can check here where we do the damage calculation. So here, if our player collides with the bullets, then we just subtract the HP and set the iframes. But we never destroy the bullets. And well, we could do it like here, we just call destroy for the bullets. But there's one big problem. Like, if the turret will hit us, everything is fine. But if the let's try that again. If zombie will hit us, then all the bullets on the field will get destroyed. So that's not a good thing. So how we are going to fix it today is by using function. And let's close that one. So we can create new function. Here the add function button. And let's call this handle damage taken. And return type is none. Yeah, that is fine. And let's put it right up here on the player events. Now, well, we can basically copy everything from here and put it, yeah, put them right here. And now that they are here and not in the damage calculation or like not where it was before, we can add here action, and now we have the functions option here. Click it and call the handle damage taken function. So what does this do is we call this function and we do everything that is right over here. And this is something that can help for you to not copy everything over and over again. Like right now we have to do a new check for the player's collision with the bullet. And well, let's do it right away. Right here, player on collision with bullets. And we press done. Let's put it right up here. We can't. Why we can't? No. Now we can. Yeah. And here, well, let's delete that first. Now we can destroy the bullet right here because we are only checking when the bullet hits the player. And then we can copy this function call. But one more thing we need to do is to add a sub event where we check that the iframe is false and then take that away. Now it should work like it should be, and if we try to play the game, then yeah, even though the zombies hit us, the bullets will stay on the field and everything works like it should. Well, that's great. So keep in mind that the functions can be really helpful if you have multiple things you need to do all the time. But yeah, before we go to the building the UI, let's clean up a little bit of our event sheet. We've been doing a lot of events here and not putting them into correct categories or groups. So I think all of these can be put in the enemies group, as they are turrets and they are in the enemies family. And let's close that. And these two, well, let's make a new group and call it environment. And put them right there, as I think the portals and the barrels are part of the environment, so they can be right over there. And now we have nice and clean event sheet. Yes, well, next we need to create some art for our UI, and this time let's just make a really quick heart for our health indicator. And well, I'll see you again when it's drawn. Okay, here is our heart, and let's download it and import right in our project. And this should be familiar from the earlier series, so you can try to make this on your own. So basically we are just going to add the heart on top left corner of the screen and communicate the amount of health with a number, and of course then update the number in the event sheet. So if you want, you can pause the video and try to do it on your own. And yeah, for the UI, well, again, first let's rename this. Let's call it SPR underscore, I think I call it UI heart. And then we need to create new layer for the UI. So let's add a layer at top and call it UI. And then, well, now currently the heart is in the game layer, but here we can put it on the UI layer. And next let's put the snap to grid on and put the heart, well, let's put it right over there, the origin point. And I think that's a good position. If we play the game, we can check it right over here. Yeah, I think that looks good. And then we need to create a text object for the health amount. So text object, and let's call this txt health amount. Yeah. And now let's put it right over here next to the heart and change a little bit of these parameters or properties. So I want to change the font. I think Comic Sans, even though it's usually it's not good font, I think it works well with this kind of graphics. And the size is fine. Let's make it bold. Here the center alignment, let's make it a bit smaller. And yeah, I think everything is fine now. And again, if we try the game, we can check that. Yeah, I think it looks good. And now we need to jump at the event sheet. And of course, first we need to set the health amount to be correct at the start of the layout when we start the game. So let's make an event with the condition on start of layout. And here, how we did the setting the text is we choose the text object and go under here, the text part has the set text action, and we can set it to because it is SPR underscore player dot HP. Yeah, there we have our health amount. We press done, and now if we check the game, yeah, we have 3 over there and not 0 like last time. But now if we take damage, it doesn't update, so we need to go to the from the function, the handle damage taken, and here we can set the text again, the same action. We set it to the player's HP, and well, let's do it before we set the iframes, and now it should work. If we take damage, yeah, it's 2. In iframes, nothing happens. It's 1. Now we should die. Yeah, we died. It went 0, and when it starts again, it's 3 again. Yeah. Simple as that. Well, now that we have the HP indicator in our UI, next let's add money to the game. And of course, first, again, we need to make some graphics for it. And this time I want to make a coin icon for the UI to show how much money we have. And then I draw a small pile of coins, so that when we kill the zombies, they can drop a pile of coins on the ground and the player can go to pick them up. So let's jump back to the Pisco and draw those graphics. Okay, now we have our 2 icons, and let's not export out of them here and put them back to our project right here. And again, let's rename this. This can be SPR underscore money pile, and this one UI money icon. Yeah, and again, we are going to build the UI the same way as we did with the heart. So first, well, I want the origin point down here. Let's put it right under the heart. Then we make a new text object here, and let's call it money amount, and Where did it go? Well, you can always drag and drop it right over there. And again, we change the font to be the same as the hard text. Let's make it bold. Again, vertical alignment to center. Can be 0 for now. And that's all for the UI itself. Next, we jump to the event sheet. And again, let's make a new global variable called money amount. So this is where we are going to save the money that we have. And then on the start of layout, we need to set the text money amount to be the value of money amount variable. So that should work fine for now. And at this point, we need to create the coin piles and collecting the money so that we can update the money amount as we collect them. But we can test that it works if we just put this, let's say we have 100 gold, and then we play the game, there should be 100. Yeah, looks like it does work. Let's put it back to 0. And now what we want to do is every time a zombie dies, we create this money pile. And I just realized this money pile is on UI layer. We want it to be in game layer so the player can collide with them. So let's do that. Let's find the enemy. Well, let's make a new event called zombies, and here is undestroyed. And here, every time zombie dies, we want to create a pile of money, which is here, create object, money pile, and we make it in layer 1. And the x coordinate, of course, will be zombies.x, and then the y coordinate is zombies.y. Now, every time a zombie dies, there should be new money pile. Yes, it looks like it. And again, it's going to be on top of the Z order, so let's make it that it will be under the player. So we make a new action, then select the money pile, go right under here in the Z order, and move to the bottom. And now the player should walk on top of the monies. And looks like it does. Yeah, that looks good. Next, we need to make a event for the player to pick up the money. And for that, well, of course, we need to do the events with player on collision with the money pile. And let's press done. And here I actually want to randomize the amount of money that the pile will have. So we can again do it using the random function. But for the action, of course, we need to update the money amount or add to the money amount variable. And here, well, first we need the floor function and then the random function, just like with the roaming pathfinding. And here the minimum value, well, let's say it's 5, and let's say max is 16. So it will choose a amount between 5 and actually 15, because I think 16, like the max value, doesn't include in the range that it will give, if I'm not wrong. Then we press done. And now that if we play the game and we collect money, well, of course we don't update the text, so we do that next. We make a new action, select text money amount, and here set text, and again the money amount variable. And well, let's destroy the money pile also at this point. And now if we play the game and we try to pick up the money, we can see it will update properly. Yeah. So basically that works now, but I want to add a small pop-up indicator for the money. And it can be done quite easily, or it can be animated quite easily using the fade and sign behaviors. So again, let's make it UI layer and create new object. And it's going to be again text, where we are going to put the amount of money that we are picking up. Let's put it outside of the camera view. Then, well, let's put 1 for the text for now. Then let's make it bold, change the font. I want the color to be yellow as it indicates the gold that we collect. I think that's a good color. And let's put center alignment for horizontal and for vertical, and make it a bit smaller. That looks good. Then yeah, that's everything for here. And now we add the behaviors for here. That was the fade and the sign. And we have used both of these before, so they should be familiar to you. And here, let's put it, the sign period offset to be half of the period itself. So that if we check the preview, oh, not horizontal, I want vertical movement, so that now if we press preview, it will start going up first. If there is 0 and we press the preview, it will go down. Not 1, only 2. And then for the fade, I want to have it, because we have 4-hour period, 4-second period in the sine wave. So it's basically a 1 second when it goes from the starting position to the highest position. So I want to be 1 second in the fading time. So we wait for the half a second and then fade it in the other half. And now if we play the game, we can check how it looks. Like that, it will go up and then fade out. It looks good, but maybe the magnitude is a bit too much. Let's make it 25 and check it out. Yeah, I think that looks good, so it doesn't move as fast, so the eyes can follow it easier. Yeah, that's basically it. We can move it outside of the camera view. And now we go back to the event sheet. And here actually we have a problem, because we randomize the money amount, but we can't, well, or we don't know what the amount is. So we need to save it somewhere before we put it on the money amount. Oh. No, there was a typo over there. So we can create a new global variable. Let's call it money randomizer. And the initial value can be 0. Press OK. And at this point, let's not add it to the money amount. Let's set it, set value to money randomizer. So we save it to this variable first. Then afterwards, we are going to add to the money amount the amount in the money randomizer. Let's do it here before we set the money amount text. And finally, here we can create the pop-up. Oh, we didn't rename it yet, but it's the text. And here for the layer 2, because we want it to be in UI layer. Then for the X, it's the SPR moneypile.x, and then Y is moneypile.y. We press done. Let's do it right here. And now it will pop up, but it still will show the 1 all the time because we don't set the text anywhere. So we need to do that also. So we choose the text and set text, and here we put the money randomizer amount in the text. And now that I remember, I want to rename this to txt money pop up, like that. Yeah, and now everything should work fine. We tried it, yeah, we got 10, we got 6. Looks like everything works just like it should. 9, 7, yeah. So I think that's all for this time. And in the next episode, we are going to implement stats for the player and simple shop, where the player can buy power-ups and spend the money that he will collect. And I think I'll see you then.